Hey guys, it's been 2 weeks since my last video and it's the end of week 4 now. I haven't had a chance to see my physiotherapist yet because it's quarantine, but the good news is we do have a Zoom appointment for next week. She came highly recommended by Dr. Park. Apparently she's handled a lot of his Achilles repairs and is really familiar with the early mobilization and weight bearing protocol. So I figured why not give her a try. Anyway, so for this video, I want to cover a few things that most of you may be wondering during weeks 3 and weeks 4, or during week 3 and 4. First is swelling management. Second is when will you be able to shower? And then third is, are there any exercises or things that you can start doing now? So we'll start off with icing. To begin, once your foot is out of the cast, there's gonna be a lot of swelling. I mean, it's not guaranteed. There's gonna be some swelling just as it's healing. I recommend you try to ice it around maybe like once or twice a day. And all you need to do is just get some ice into a Ziploc bag, wrap it around in a towel or a t-shirt or something like that, just so it's not directly on your skin. And then just basically ice, try to keep it, around your Achilles, your overall foot. Try not to put it directly on the wound. Just around it is really good and fine as well. Do it for about 15-20 minutes on different places, and then leave it for like 5-10 minutes off, and just as you move around your leg. There's also an ankle gel ice pack that I got off Amazon that worked pretty well, but honestly it's not really that necessary, and ice and being able to directly put it where you need it is probably better. So the next question is, when can you shower? So at the beginning of week 3, I just got my cast off and my stitches taken out. There wasn't any bleeding, but the area was definitely sensitive and it definitely felt raw. So I decided not to fully wash it right away. I want to ensure the wound was fully healed. Anywhere the stitches was taken out, there still might be a little bit of gaps. I just wanted to wait a few days until everything kind of sealed up. And then afterwards, I did take a shower, with the boot off, everything off. The one thing to remember is that if you are gonna be taking a shower, make sure that you wear your boot getting into the bathtub or wherever you're going, and then take off your boot and leave it, roughly within arm's length, so you don't have to move anywhere to get it again after you're finished showering, because you need to put the boot back on before you get out of the bathtub or the shower. I know that sounds kind of weird and it could get wet and it's just really tedious, but one of the main causes of people re-rupturing their Achilles after repair is in and around the shower. So there's a lot of accidents that happen, it's slippery, and when you're not in the boot, anything can happen. Like if you slip and you accidentally just go to step down with your other foot, just that stretching of like putting your feet down right now is probably gonna be enough to tear it. So do not do that, just be safe and wear the boot getting into it. Take the boot off once you're in, and then put the boot back on before you get out. The other thing is, make sure you don't take any baths. So you can't submerge your wound fully in water just yet. I'd wait until about week 4 before you do that. Give it a full week after you get your stitches out to completely heal before you actually go and like do anything where you're submerging your foot in water. I think running water past it, like showering after a few days, is fine. But yeah, once again, don't keep it submerged in water. So the next question is dealing with exercises, and then eventually I'll talk about actually walking with crutches with weight bearing. So first with exercises, there's a few things you can do for weeks 3 and 4. Since it's just freshly healed and you just got stitches out, it's gonna be pretty tight. You don't really want to do too much stretching of it at all just yet. Mostly you just want to manually massage your feet, move your toes around. Try not to do too much, like I said, in terms of actually lifting your foot by any means. But with your foot, do what's comfortable. Try to spread your toes. Even try to like lift your toes up, keeping your foot kind of pointed down, lift your toes up. Even try to curl your toes. One thing with curling your toes, don't curl it too tight because you will feel that connection with your Achilles. So you probably won't even be able to curl your toes that much yet, but just slowly ease into it until you're able to get to about, I'd say about week 4 before you can actually start crunching it more or start actually like gripping it more. Just, take it easy day by day. Another thing that, you can do is that there's a band. So you can either get a band or towel, and essentially, I won't show you my other leg right now, it's in the boot, but this might be easier to demonstrate because I'll have more range of motion. But you wanna wrap a band or the towel around the bottom of your feet here and just hold it. You don't wanna pull it back because that's dangerous. That's stretching your Achilles right now, so you don't wanna do that with the other leg. Your other leg will be pointed out, be very gentle and just hold it. And then what you wanna do is just feel like it's like an isometric hold. Feel like you're on the top of your tippy toes and you're just holding that. And it's gonna be pretty weak, so you're gonna feel shaky, so definitely do not try to pull it back. You don't want your strength to give out and all of a sudden you're just pulling at it, but just try to ease into it. Like never try to pull this past a certain point, like your knees, and just try to kind of kick a little bit and feel that resistance. So do that very gently. That's right now just gonna make sure that your Achilles has a bit of tension there, so it knows that it needs to kind of strengthen up. So yeah, so that's about it right now. You don't want to be stretching it. So like I said, you don't want to be stretching your foot down by any means. You just want to, that last final range of motion, you want to kind of point your toes down, curl your toes, and try to hold it. Try to hold that strength, hold that connection there. Okay, so next is weight bearing. So based on my rehab protocol, week 3 is 25% weight bearing. And so I think I talked about last week, you can just put your foot onto some sort of scale and then see, calculate 25% of your weight and just see how much weight that is and feel that out. Another way to do it is just, if you're sitting on a chair and you have both legs on the ground, if you just have the weight of your one leg completely on that foot, I think that's roughly around 25%, maybe a bit less, but I wouldn't really worry. So that's for week 3. And then comes week 4. So week 4 is 50% weight bearing. So that means at week 4, you should be able to stand without crutches and support just about 50% of your weight on that leg. And I'll show you what that looks like in a sec. You will have a lot of heel lifts in, so when you're standing up, you will feel a little bit awkward because your left foot's not gonna have anything. So if you wear shoes or something like that, it does make it easier. And then also at week 4, with 50% weight bearing, you can also use crutches, which I'm about to show you, to actually walk around with it. So if you offload half of your weight onto your crutches and the other 50% of your weight onto your feet, you can actually slowly kind of walk around. And I'll actually show you what that looks like now. So in terms of standing, you can kind of stand with half your weight on your left leg and half your weight on your right leg. You can see that. And then also, when you're walking, you want to use your crutches to offload half the weight of your leg. So use your crutches and your leg together like this. Walk, crutches and leg together like this. Walk like that. So I'll show you the other way as well. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up the video. I was actually up at my friend's cottage on week 4, and so I did submerge my feet in the water, and I'll show you a clip of it, and I'll show you the wound, what it looked like at that point, and it did look really good. So here it is. So you can see here the wound looks really healed up. There's still a little bit of scabs, but putting in the water felt great. To feel the cool water around your feet, and then being able to gently move your leg back and forth and feel your Achilles stretch a little bit, but allowing the water to soften the force, it just felt amazing. Okay, so that's it. In terms of next steps, the next 2 weeks will be exciting because I'll be able to start physio next week, and I'll be able to share a lot of the exercises that I get with you. And it also says that at week 5 to 6, so on week 6, I'll be at 100% weight bearing. So at that point, that'll be exciting because I should be able to ditch the crutches and just be able to walk with my legs, you know, and not need any other aid and things like that. You'll definitely be limping, you know, it might be still a bit tougher, but it's exciting and something cool to look forward to. Okay, so I think that's about it. Good luck recovering, and I'll see you here in the next video. See ya.